that. And they lost the lead and lost the game, lost the series. Obviously.
Skip, I don't know if you remember this, but in the preseason game, Justin Anderson was playing with the Wizards.
Yep.
And Marcus Morris, he elbowed him.
Mm-hmm.
He elbowed him again in the face, and then he took the ball and bounced it off the top of his head. Now, is that playing the game the right way? Do you remember when he kneed Ben Simmons in the head?
I do.
Is that playing the game the right way? Because if we're in the court of law, and you get it, and I would eat him up on cross. Because if he got up on the stands and said he plays the game the right way, and I got this video, guess what I'm going to show the jury, Skip? And I'm going to ask him again, Mr. Morris, is this playing the game the right way? What do you think he's going to say? Mr. Morris, here you kneeing Ben Simmons in the head. Is this playing the game the right way?
Okay.
Because you said you play the game the right way.
So,
pattern of behavior.
You brought up Patrick Beverley.
Yes.
Right now, he is the #1 cheerleader and trash talker from the bench because he has not been able to play yet. They're saying he might be able to be available for the next game.
Right.
The point is, Patrick Beverley does not play what Luka is playing. He's not going to accept all the whining, all the this, and all the the subtle cheap shots from a guy who, to me, Luka is a wolf in sheep's clothing. Because the sheep's clothing is always, I don't know what's happening. And he said after the game, he's saying all this bad stuff to me.
Yeah, bad stuff.
Marcus is saying bad stuff to me. Is that okay with you guys? He's asking the reporters. Is this okay? Does this look like an intentional shot? If this was intentional, that's really bad. Well, was the swing on Reggie Jack, the back of his head, was that intentional? If so, that looks really bad to me. But Luka's like it's all okay. I'm happy. I'm happy. But Patrick Beverley was all over him, and finally Luka made a free throw, and as he was backpedaling up the court, you know what he did to Patrick? If we have, we might have this. I don't know. He did this. Yeah, here he is. He's giving him this. Patrick's all over him, and he can hear it because there are no fans. So you can hear everything.
That's the
all over him, and here we go. See if you can make one free throws and miss free throws. And he's doing, keep talking, right? So they are going back and forth.
Right.
And yet, last night on Luka, they obviously came out and said, we are going to get even more physical with him. They roughed him up. They pushed him around. They beat on him. And to me, he, under the onslaught last night, he had a long, hard night.
Yes.
Obviously, he did not have his co-star. He did not have Porzingis.
Yes.
I'm hoping for their sake, Porzingis comes back. Right. I'm hoping for the sake of the series because I'm not writing these guys off because of Luka. Right. He's obviously an extremely talented player.
Well, Skip, they played. I mean, obviously, the Clippers said, like, look, we're going to try, when we get an opportunity, we're going to get the ball out of his hands. We're going to make other people beat us.
Yep.
And early on, I mean, the game was pretty good. I mean, Skip, I went to shave, and
you went to shave?
I went to shave, Skip.
At night?
Yeah.
I shave in the morning.
No,
Silly me.
No.
You shave at night? What if it grows overnight?
Well,
you gonna have stubble?
Well, you ain't gonna be able to see it.
Really? So your beard must grow very slowly.
No, it grows very fast. But I think by the time, if I shave at 6:30, 7 o'clock, by the time we roll around here, 12 hours, I should be fine. Skip, so I go to, so they're up like, I think 15, 13, 15, 12, 16, something like that. Skip, I come back, and they're down. Like 33. I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. What happened? Did I actually fall asleep or something, Skip? Come to find out, the Clippers go on a 19-0 run.
19-0.
And boom.
And I think it got worse after that. It got up to like, I don't know.
It was 32-5, I think.
Right, something like
but Skip, what happens is, you come down and you jack up a jump shot. They come down, make a three. You come down, jack up another. They come down and make a three. Well, it doesn't take long for the game to get out of hand because it seemed like early on they really couldn't miss.
Nope, they could not.
Because at one point they were 10 of 16 from the three. Well, if they're 10 of 16, you're 2 of 8. Yeah. Well, unless something dramatically happened, you hit a cold streak like the Rockets did. Yeah. It's going to be hard for you to get back into the ball game.
So, I don't know if you noticed this guy, the quiet man, the quiet assassin.
Yeah.
For the Los Angeles Clippers.
Yeah,
He's got a commercial that says he's got now because this is now Kawhi Town, that guy.
Oh,
did you notice what he did last night?
I noticed he missed 5 free throws. Yeah. Did you notice that?
I did, but I also noticed he only missed 7 shots because he hit 12 of 19 shots, and he has gotten lethal from mid-range turnaround.
How many shots did he miss?
Lethal.
How many shots did he miss?
12 of 19.
My guy missed 2 shots.
Really?
And one of them was a 29-foot three-pointer.
Your guy is playing the worst defensive team in the bubble and in basketball.
Hold on. So how good a defensive team is the Mavs?
They're a little better than the Trailblazers.
Are they really?
Yep,
without Porzingis. They're better. They're better defensively without Porzingis.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But Kawhi Leonard just does work on anybody who tries to guard him. Hardaway tries. All of them.
What about my guy?
Kleba tries.
What about my guy?
Which guy?
You know my guy. I ain't got but one. You know who he is.
What about
Say his name.
I don't need to say his
his name.
We're going to say it like 8,000 times the rest of the day.
Do you remember what my guy did to your guy in the first game back? Or the seeding game? Do you remember?
You mean the first game of the year?
No.
When he scored 2 in the fourth quarter?
No, hold on.
And got blown out?
What's the record? We 2-2, right?
Yeah, 2-2.
We okay?
Yep.
Okay. I'm just checking because I don't want you to get too far ahead of yourself.
By the way, Patrick Beverley, as I point out, is about to come back. And did you see that in the voting for Defensive Player of the Year?
Yeah.
Patrick Beverley actually got 1 first-place vote.
And from a Clipper guy.
And he actually got 2 third-place votes, which is pretty great for a little 6-foot guy who blocked LeBron's shot on Christmas Day so skillfully that he knocked it up out of his hands, threw his hands back over his head, out of bounds, game over.
All I remember the last time they played, before the break, Patrick Beverley became unplayable in the fourth quarter. They tried to play him on LeBron James, but he became unplayable. A guy that got a vote for Defensive Player of the Year and 2 third-place votes became unplayable in a game of that magnitude.
He sets the defensive tone for this team. You said, conga line, Soul Train, blah, 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 blah. Watch what happens when he comes back. Watch the new urgency and edge with which they will play defense, sparked by the electricity of Patrick Beverley.
You do realize, although Luka shot 16 of 17, he went to the free throw line. He shot 14 free throw attempts. They're not fouling guys on jump shots. So where was he getting those at? In the paint. So again, Papa Karacha, conga line to the basket.
You know what I'd forgotten until they brought it up last night on the telecast? The Mavericks obviously had the #1 offensive rating in the history of basketball. Guess who was the second-rated offense in all of basketball this regular season?
Right.
It was the Clippers.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Whoa.
So best defensive team, second best offense. That means that equals NBA championship.
So let me ask you a question. So why you finishing in not the #1 seed?
Well, because our guys were gone most of the year.
You know what, Skip? I need y'all to stop this.
Yep.
I need you, and we're gonna talk about Doc a little later. I love Doc, but you can't say, Skip, when you lose, we haven't played together, but when you win, we've had great ball movement. Whoa!
They're just figuring themselves out.
Man, stop it, Skip. Stop.
And by the way, underreported last night. Did you see that guy who played the whole second half? Do you remember that guy who hasn't been in the bubble until about 10 days ago?
Oh, Trez, yeah.
That guy Trez, the beast of the West, that guy. Did you see what he did? Look at those numbers he put up. How about that? How about 19 and 11 in 22 minutes? You like that?
Oh, did you see what my guy did? Hey, D.
Which guy?
So let me ask you a question. You want Trez? So you got Trez? You got Trez, or you got AD?
I got Trez coming off the bench because I got Big Zoo who's going to bother your guy.
He always bother him. How?
Bothers him.
What he gonna do? Blow in his ear? Thump his ear or something? That's the only way he gonna bother him. He can't bother that shot. Whiteside can't bother the shot. Nurkic.
This was a tour de force.
Skip.
You saw it.
Skip.
You were afraid of it.
First of all, AD played 18 minutes. LeBron played 28 minutes and shut it down. And we get a 135 spot.
Kawhi scored 32 in 29 minutes. You like that?
We scored 30 in 28 minutes.
Okay.
And Skip, and we took 12 shots.
Better. Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
You took 19 shots. Wow. We took 12.
We're playing a team, and you're playing some G League team.
Hold on, time out. If I'm not mistaken, it's not like the Mavs were the #2 seed. They're the 7th seed. So that means they're 1 seed better than the Trailblazers. So let's not pretend, Skip.
They just couldn't close, but boy, they can play 3.5 quarters.
So what they got to do with anything? So the Clippers. So the Blazers, they get their guys because, hold on, they can use that excuse. They didn't have Nurkic. Zach Collins has been in and out. They signed Melo late. They don't make any excuses.
Neither do the Clippers.
Oh, yeah, you do. And you do every time you lose.
They
you
just
talk
come
about
out and say, watch
Hold on,
this.
Skip. You just said because they haven't played together. They don't really know each other. So you are making excuses.
Doc does.
No, you and Skip Bayless.
States facts.
But Dame is not talking about Nurkic hadn't been there the whole year. He hadn't been talking about Zach Collins in and out of the lineup. Now he's gone again. We signed Melo late. That's not what he does. But every time the Clippers lose, they haven't played together. When they win, man, look at that ball movement. Woo, look at the ball movement.
I think they got to know each other last night.
Oh, last night?
I think last night. So they took their name tags off because they said, "Oh yeah, you are Marcus Morris."
So did nobody know anybody when Luka hit that 39-foot bomb?
No.
Ain't nobody know nobody. What about game two?
The more I think about that, that's like a 1,000,000,000 to 1
Ain't no
shot.
1,000,000,000 to 1.
Yeah.
Ain't no 1,000,000,000 to 1.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I've seen him do it too many times. He'll do it to you again.
The airball prince, Luka. Good.
They say, hold on. I mean, I'm hearing he's a cross between Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, and Goat James. I say, what?
How could anybody have the audacity to put him in the same sentence with one of the deadliest shooters in the history of this game, Larry Bird?
He gonna improve.
This guy is one of the undeadliest shooters.
He gonna improve.
Okay.
By the time Luka 25, he'll have an MVP. By the time he's 24, he'll have an MVP.
Okay.
24.
By the time he's 24, he'll have one of them things.
Wow.
He needs to get an enforcer because if he's going to start it, somebody's going to finish it.
He ain't starting nothing.
Wolf in sheep.
Just getting going here. Can Luka just be Luka? Do we have to label him as someone already? Okay, this is interesting, guys. Did LeBron go a bit too far in the Lakers game 4 blowout win?
Here we
Let me
go.
explain this.